Hey guys, T-Bull here. Today we're going to be checking out the patch notes for the new update that's introducing British cruisers into our game, specifically British light cruisers. PC version just got their heavy cruisers recently. We can expect to see them down the road, but not anytime in the near future. So as we predicted earlier, Emerald's going to be Tier 4, Leander Tier 5, Fiji Tier 6, and Edinburgh Tier 7. These are going to be interesting in that you can swap the smoke consumables for a plane. I personally am probably going to recommend playing with the smoke. I think that's one of the strengths. But it's interesting that we're getting the new ability to customize kind of the consumable layout. I can see that coming into play and making its way through more ships down the road. We do have one more coming up, currently available, that has an option as well. I'll mention that in a minute here, but those are the tech tree ships, and the new campaign is for the Belfast. We'll see exactly how it plays in our version, but on the PC it's got quite a reputation of being an extremely strong ship. What does it do? It fires HE and AP. The British cruisers in general will be firing the AP rounds, or they're technically semi-AP rounds, I believe, with the difference in the fuses or whatever. But Belfast, you can load in your standard British cruiser AP rounds or the HE. Combine that with the ability to smoke yourself up, that becomes very powerful. It also has sonar and radar, so I expect the Belfast to be an extremely strong Tier 6 cruiser, and one that I'm looking forward to completing or unlocking through the campaign. Besides that, we're going to be getting ranked Season 3. And they said something about, depending on how well you did in Season 2, that'll affect your starting position in this season. It's kind of like if you played Season 1 and 2 that were out kind of back-to-back. If you did really well on Season 1, you didn't have to complete as many levels, or you started a little bit higher up the tree, I guess is a better way to put it, on the Season 2. Same thing in play here. We're going to have Tier 5 again. This one's going to be the full 5 weeks duration, the update cycle. So, let's see. 20 ranks, irrevocable ranks at 19, 17, 14, 11, 8, 5, and 1. So, obviously when you hit 1, you're done with the ranked. Biggest difference they note is the destroyers are limited at 3 per team, and they say we mean it, which means they attempted to do that last rank season, but due to a programming error, it wasn't implemented properly. So that's going to be the cap here. A lot of people are asking for caps on their ship layouts and stuff during the normal games. In my opinion, and my strong opinion, I don't think there should be a cap on normal, pub matches in terms of ships classes. But if they're going to implement it on ranked, I don't have a problem with that. Ranked is, if you're going to try and get fair matches, quote unquote, then ranked's the way to do it. I don't personally like the idea of, having the same cookie cutter game format every single time you load into a given map. That's my own opinion on that one, though. So, ranks backed. There's going to be some rewards associated with that. I'm going to have a link to the patch notes here in the description. So anything that I kind of gloss over, such as the rewards for the ranks and the campaigns, you can click on that and check that out as well. Interesting new feature coming this cycle. It's called new win bonuses for ships. These are for tiers 6 and 7. You get one opportunity to get these per update. So over the next 5-week period, if you get a win on any of your tier 6 ships, then you'll get one promotion order as a bonus. And then for tier 7, you get a Santa crate or whatever. So those are pretty interesting. Anytime we can get some new promotion orders flowing into our economies, that's a good thing in my opinion. But, just keep that in mind. So if you have, 20 tier 6 ships and you manage to get a win on all 20 of those in the update cycle, you'll get 20 extra promotion orders from those. Likewise with tier 7 and the crates. So, pretty nice bonus there. I'm pretty interested in that. Let's see what else it's got. Ship upgrades are now displaying all changes to the ship on the upgrade screen. So, I'll take the Fubuki, for instance, Tier 5 Japanese destroyer. previously or currently up until the update coming out here next week, it fails to mention that you're going to get a lot of extra range on your torps. So you go from kind of a destroyer like the Americans have, where they can't really stealth fire at that tier, and then once you put the upgrade on, then you get the full 10-kilometer range. But it didn't accurately point that out. And there's a lot of curious little things that aren't explicitly pointed out. So that'll be good for those of you that are still upgrading your ships, help you prioritize what to focus on for those. Another interesting one here is the AA stats are going to be removed. Now, I'll just read what it says. It says, note that we also removed all AA parameters until we decided on how to proceed with aircraft carriers or if we have any other need for them. What that means, I don't know. This is translated from Russian, and then I'm not a programmer. I don't explicitly know how the word parameter is being used in this. Whether that means all ships are going to have identical AA on them, or the AA systems are completely removed from the ships, not 100% sure. But the last part where they say how to proceed with aircraft carriers scares me, because I think that's a massively problematic addition to the game that will ruin the game for many. And I know a lot of you guys are interested in aircraft carriers. I understand that. But a lot of people that play Legends used to play World of Warships on PC, and they quit because of aircraft carriers. So how that's going to play out, I don't know. I don't even fully understand exactly how it's going to work in the immediate term. We'll probably get some clarification from them at some point, whether they're just removing the AA systems from the ships completely, or just taking the stats off so they're not cluttering up the stats page, or whatever. But something to note, kind of interesting. Getting back to the ship that I mentioned earlier that we currently have available in the game, that's getting a choice for consumables. Kagero. You can now have the choice to swap the smoke consumable with torpedo reload booster. That's currently only found on the Asashio, the premium Japanese destroyer tier 6. A lot of players are still probably valuing the Akatsuki better than the Kagero, the tier 6 versus the tier 7 Japanese destroyers. I think they're both solid in their own right. The Kagero, of course, has better concealment and better torpedoes, but the Asashio has the 3x3 launchers, whereas the Kagero's 4x2, I believe. So a lot of people probably prefer that. And the Akatsuki is very quick cycling on their reloads. So both very strong ships, but the ability to customize your consumable layout with the Kagero, that's interesting. Again, I expect that to probably, now that they've put the infrastructure in the game to allow the choices of those consumables, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see some more customization options go on the forward. For instance, the French cruisers on the PC, I believe, have reload boosters starting at least at Algerie or somewhere along those lines. Potentially we could see something along those lines. I don't want to make any sort of promises or anything and get your hopes up too much. But again, now that the cat's out of the bag, we'll see what happens with those. Interesting development there. For the Yamato's, of course, the testing period's done. It started off strong, hit some road bumps due to Pitchfork Nation complaining, which kind of ruined Tier 7 and the testing, in my opinion. But I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with me on that. So the Yamato, I'm getting a lot of questions. What's going to happen to the mods on the Yamato? It's going to be the same as if you sell a ship that has mods, or if they get removed some other way. Basically, any mods that you've installed on the ship will go back into your inventory, and then any other ship that has the ability to equip that, you can kind of put it on there for free without spending more credits. So don't fear losing your mods or anything. They'll be able to be put to good use sooner or later for you. Kite tokens, the way that you've been accessing the Yamato games, those are going to be reimbursed for 185,000 credits per token. That's a massive amount, and I know a lot of you guys are still grinding through your lines, and that should help with the grind. So from the moment you see this video till Sunday, you probably got, I don't know, the option to get 8 more of those. That's, a million credits or whatever. Probably over 1 million credits. Math was never my strong suit. But that's a good opportunity to get some cash anyways. And if you have been stockpiling your kite tokens, you just don't like the Yamato, you didn't have any interest in playing it, you got 500 of those things sitting around, well, you're going to be Mr. Moneybags following the payout on those kite tokens. So, very interesting option for those of you that need credits. If you're like me and you have 200 million of them, then it's kind of irrelevant. And finally, they got these Azure Lane, I believe it's called, commanders. There's some sort of, it says it's a mobile game. I've never actually heard of it. It's basically these chicks with huge gams that are like anime people. They're going to be available for commanders. I think we're probably going to be unlocking them through missions, and then they kind of correspond to a given ship. So there's one called Belfast, for instance. It's kind of designed to be used for that ship, but you can use it on any ship of the nation. So for Belfast, for instance, it's going to be a British commander. It's probably like Fraser, Tennant, where in general they're kind of designed for cruiser play, but if you saw my video on kind of the obscure commander builds, you can come up with some interesting options using those. So a lot more commanders. I think there's 5 or 6 of the new ones. You can check those out by clicking on the link to the patch notes once you're done watching this video. Get a little bit better of a feel for what's coming on those. So that's going to do it for this one. As soon as I'm done talking, I'll trim this game down. My score will be the same at the end of the game. I'm just chasing these destroyers who are running for their lives for the next 5 minutes or whatever. So that's going to do it for this one. Hope you did enjoy it. Well, if you did, you should hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, I'm assuming you already subscribed because you realize this is the dopest World of Warships channel known to man. But if you haven't, you should hit the subscribe button now. Questions, comments? I want to get you guys' feedback on the update. Do you have a tingle going up your leg? Are you all jazzed up for this one? Are your hopes and dreams crushed? Are you not digging something? Let me know. I'd like to hear from you guys on these update videos when we do them. Kind of get a good read on the community's feeling for the update. So let me know there. And that's going to do her. All right, peace.